Good evening, I'm John Meko, the president of Founding Forward, and welcome to our Constitution Day program. It's my great pleasure to be with all of you, and if you would, for a moment, give me your attention and join, please stand if you are able, and join Rose Fennell, the superintendent of Valley Forge National Historic Park, in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rose. Again, welcome. Today we celebrate the Constitution on Constitution Day here in beautiful Lincoln Hall. And we do this as a new organization, Founding Forward. We're here today to commemorate that great document of liberty, the Constitution, to look forward to a great year of educational programming, and to thank all of our partners, our colleagues, our donors, all those who make possible our work. In this room, we have key leaders like Rose at Valley Forge Park, members of the Founding Forward Board of Trustees, members of the Union League Board, partners from across the country, like the AMVETS Lady Auxiliary Organization and Philadelphia-based agencies that have worked with us for many decades. Also in the room are leaders who represent the chapters across the country. These are volunteers who raise funds and send students to our programs in Valley Forge, in Liberty Hill, and here at the beautiful League House. They've come from Utah, Oklahoma, Connecticut, Florida, and Texas, among other places. We have Good Citizen Day agencies from North Philadelphia, East Falls, Roxborough, the western suburbs, and New Jersey. And we have Good Citizenship awardees from the years 1959, I'm sorry, that's not right, 1949, I believe. Yes. To 2024. And of course, in this room are our generous donors who make all this possible. Without your financial support, we simply could not do our work. Of course, in this room, there are many past presidents of the Union League. In fact, there are 45 of them around in oil and canvas. There are also a few here in flesh and blood. And please join me in recognizing the past presidents that are here in person: Tom Pappas, Greg Montanaro, Joan Carter, and Craig Mills. Thank you. And before I introduce our chair, I want to say something additional about one other person. And without her, I don't know where we would be today. I don't think she had any idea of what she or her husband were getting into when this Founding Forward idea, this merger occurred. But she's been supportive and positive, and she is one of the reasons that we gather here today. So please thank the First Lady of Founding Forward, Barb Dunigan. Barb, where are you? Thank you, Barbara. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce the 70th president of the Union League of Philadelphia and the first chair of Founding Forward, Mr. Jim Dunigan. Jim.
Thank you, John. Good evening, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be here with you, all of you today, on Constitution Day. John, I have to say, you surprised me as well. Thank you for recognizing Barb. I'm not sure she signed on for all this ride either, but as I've said before, behind every man is a woman who's rolling her eyes. And she spends a lot of time doing that, I can tell you that. But thank you, Barb, for your support. And thank all of you for joining us. We have been celebrating Constitution Day in much the same way for several years. But this year is different, and what a difference a year makes. It is different because the charitable mission of the Union League has evolved. As you know, on January 1st of this year, the Union League Legacy Foundation and Freedom's Foundation of Valley Forge united to create Founding Forward. This merger happened because both organizations recognized the growing crisis in civics education. The crisis stems from a fundamental lack of understanding and appreciation for the principles and values that make our country great. Principles proclaimed in the Declaration of Independence and made possible through the document we celebrate today, the Constitution. This merger was also made possible through the visionary leadership of both organizations, many of whom are here tonight, but I want to make special mention of my predecessor, the chair of the Union League Legacy Foundation, Ms. Joan Carter. Thank you, Joan. Founding Forward is dedicated to educating as many people as possible about these principles through immersive, in-place civics education. Our focus is on teachers and students who travel from across the country to Liberty Hill and to our Valley Forge campus, an historic 75-acre property that includes dormitories, program space, and the magnificent Medal of Honor Grove, which honors each of over 3,500 heroes who have received the Medal of Honor. We need to do more, and we are working hard to expand our reach. I want to take a moment to thank our volunteer leaders who are planning our future, a future that includes a dramatic expansion of our teacher and student programs, as well as a significant investment in our campus, which will create a newly vitalized center for civic education that will engage audiences locally and nationally. Steve Target, chair of our Education and Strategic Planning Committee. Meredith Oughton, Union League Vice President responsible for the foundation. Thank you. And importantly, my fellow board members, thank you. I also want to express my gratitude for the hardworking staff of Founding Forward, who are tirelessly carrying out our mission. Thank you for all you do. One of our signature programs is our teacher seminars and workshops. This year, we held them at Liberty Hill, and they were a tremendous success. Over 300 teachers participated in week-long programs focused on the American founding, the Constitution, the American political tradition, the French and Indian War, the Civil War, immigration, and World War I. These programs are transformative. They are rich in content, and they take place here in Valley Forge and Philadelphia, the very locations where these historic events occurred. To tell you more about these programs, it is my pleasure to introduce one of our teachers who has participated in several of them. She is a graduate of Roland University and the University of Virginia, a leader and a master teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Candelle Richards.
Thank you for inviting me to speak tonight. What an historic building. I've always been curious what it looks like from standing out on the curb, looking at it, wondering what it looks like inside, and what better event than celebrating civic education on Constitution Day, guys. We the people. So, speaking of Constitution Day, today, like I do most years, as students entered into my classroom, I project onto the screen the preamble to the Constitution. And I ask my students, where did I pull this text from? And they chat about it a little bit. I give them time to read it. Finally, I hear from them that it's the Constitution. They recognize it. And I can honestly tell you that hasn't always been the case, but they do now. I see that as an encouraging sign. So I'm here tonight because I've been asked to share a few words about my experience with Founding Forward. I'll start with a brief background. I'm a full-time business teacher, part-time history teacher of 20 years at a small school in South Jersey. The courses I teach include Intro to Business, Marketing, and Accounting, and U.S. history is needed. In 2007, I first learned about teacher professional development seminars and have been seeking them out ever since. Some of these seminars have allowed me to travel around the country, others have taken me abroad, including to Germany and South Korea. Then in 2001, I attended my first Founding Forward seminar, and I've returned every year since. So why do I and so many of my colleagues keep returning, investing our time, our money into this organization, given that so many of these programs exist for teachers? The reason is simple, and it's something I hear from my colleagues time and time again. We feel seen and respected as professionals. The meaningful week-long programs help us to improve our knowledge and skills, which directly impact our students. The quality of speakers and historians that we get to learn from through Founding Forward is incomparable. It's not every day that we get to rub elbows with top-tier historians, learn from educators who teach at some of the most respected institutions in the country, some right here in Philadelphia, and hear from experts and innovators in the field. These transformative programs bring together educators from around the country who are willing to take time away from their loved ones and spend the week refining their craft. We're not required to attend a Founding Forward program. We want and we choose to attend. We learn from the experts as well as each other. As I learned this summer, the accommodations at Union League Liberty Hill, some mentioned earlier, offers a comfortable setting to gather in downtime, build relationships. And this helps to provide opportunities to brainstorm, process new information. In my experience, just as much learning and information sharing happens over a tasty meal, refreshing beverage, even a rousing game of cornhole. Add to this the ultimate immersive learning opportunity, getting the chance, as I like to call it, touch history. Walk in the footsteps of those who came before us, such as imagining the anxiety of our ancestors, like my great-grandfather, as they waited in the long lines at Ellis Island, gaining a better understanding of the struggles of those who resided in the tenements of the Lower East Side. Through a seminar with Founding Forward, we bring back new strategies and knowledge to our classrooms and colleagues, and firsthand experiences to students who may never have the means to venture beyond their towns or neighborhoods. It's a resource that invigorates our passion, I know specifically mine, and I can speak for other teachers as well, but also it invigorates our students. For some of us, we're able to offer new perspectives through non-history courses like English, science, economics, or like myself, business. Intertwining our subject matter with historical foundations, because civic literacy is also essential beyond the history classroom. I believe that. An example of a recent takeaway. This summer at a Founding Forward program titled Freedom, Opportunity, and the History of Immigration, Speaker David Beer of the Cato Institute articulated the impact of immigration on our economy. Not many would consider economics an engaging topic, unlike my father-in-law, who was an economics professor, but the room was riveted by his presentation. And I, for one, cannot wait to incorporate some of the information he shared into the economics units of my Intro to Business and Marketing coursework. As you can see, Founding Forward's teacher programs are vital to the professional development ecosystem. They provide teachers with the tools to do what we do best, to bring history alive for students, make it relevant to their lives. Offer a space for a constructive civil discourse about hard topics and demonstrate that we are more alike than we are different, regardless of where we're born. When I look back at our country's founding documents, I consider the meaning behind the three familiar words that lead off the Constitution: we the people. I take them to mean that the responsibility is ours. We are the ones our founders tasked with upholding the tenets of our democratic system. We do this by ensuring that our students have access to the kind of civic education that will support them in becoming educated, engaged, and responsible citizens. So reflecting on my students' recognition of the preamble this morning, I'm optimistic about the future because civic literacy is being taught in our classrooms. And we are, as Founding Forward tagline states, and you can see it on the banner right here, building a future rooted in liberty. So to close, I want to take a minute to offer my appreciation. Thank you to the Founding Forward team for their commitment to maintaining and expanding programs that enrich the work teachers do. My colleagues and I believe in the programs of Founding Forward so much that we also contribute as members when we contribute to the Joshua Chamberlain League. In fact, I was not surprised to learn that 90% of teachers who attend a Founding Forward program make a voluntary gift to support future programming. Absolutely. Thank you, teachers. More importantly, I want to thank each of you here tonight. Because of your support and generosity, teachers like me have the incredible opportunity to learn about our country's history, its founding, and understand the role we play in this great American experiment. It's been invaluable to me, and I'm grateful to be able to pass this on to my students year after year. So on behalf of my fellow educators and the thousands of students we teach each year, thank you.
Candelle, you're a tough act to follow. But I want to thank you for framing both our challenges and our successes so eloquently. I appreciate that. And the work that you're doing, and I'll take away, I think you said the civic literacy is important beyond the classroom, for sure. So thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for your lifelong dedication to teaching. Thank you again. I was able to attend a number of the sessions for this teacher programs this summer. It got me thinking whether I went to school at all or whether I was absent a lot, because some of the subjects were, or some of the discussions were beyond what I had remembered learning. But what was also very encouraging was the interaction with the teachers and the questions of how they could bring this to their classrooms and bring these discussions alive. So the teacher programs are truly transformative, and we need to grow them. So our plan is to more than double the number of teachers that we reach, and to do it in 1 year. And next year, we plan to have 1,000 teachers participating in our programs. And now the fun part. To accomplish this, we need resources, which equates to more money. And we have started to raise it. Many of you in this room have led the way, and we thank you. And a few of you have become what we call Founding Forward Charter members, individuals who have pledged $500,000 or more to this important project. A few of them are in the room tonight. Please join me in recognizing charter members Joan and Will Abel, Suzanne and Phil Fisher, Chris Thompson, thank you, and lastly, Mike Vellucci and the Rainier Foundation. Thanks to all of you. So again, many thanks for all of you and for your generosity. Please keep mingling, keep enjoying, and importantly, keep supporting Founding Forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Candelle. Have a wonderful evening. If you haven't seen, we have wonderful pieces from our archives back here. Keely, give us a wave. Grace, give us a wave. Thank you for everything you do. Have a great night.